Hello, this is Zahil Alum. Welcome you all on Frankly Speaking. My guest today is Her Excellency Datuk Hajah Zuraida Binte Kamaruddin, Honorable Minister for Plantation Industries and Commodities of Malaysia. And she's visiting Bangladesh, and we all know that Bangladesh and Malaysia have very good relations, excellent relations, and we are working on many areas. And she is discussing with her counterparts and our Honorable Prime Minister and also many stakeholders about opening up new avenues, how we can better cooperate and strengthening our trade and economic ties. And we are welcoming Her Excellency Datuk Hajah Zuraida Binte Kamaruddin. Welcome, ma'am, on Frankly Speaking.
Alhamdulillah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much, and it's a privilege having you on Frankly Speaking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is your first visit in Bangladesh.
Yes.
And we heard that you already had meeting with our Honorable Prime Minister, our Commerce Minister, and many stakeholders. So first of all, we would like to know about your visiting objectives.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for inviting me to this Frankly Speaking session. Yeah. All right. And I think this is one of my stops in my global agri-commodity roadshow. Yeah. So we see that we need to boost our palm oil performance in the global industry, palm oil global industry, and we want to show our dominance in this palm oil industry. So we want Malaysia to be the leading country with regards to palm oil plantation, especially in terms of technology, in terms of creativity, in terms of marketing initiatives, and so on and so forth. Even though we are the second largest producer of palm oil, with Indonesia as the number one, we are working very closely with Indonesia as partners. But no matter what, we couldn't beat Indonesia as a first because of their large country and the manpower that they have. There's no way. But however, we want to make sure that we are dominant in this region of the world, especially in the South Asia, the Central Asia, and also the Middle East as well. So we see that the potential of a palm oil is there to be enjoyed by everyone. But then at this point in time, because of the COVID situation, the lockdown, and it seems that the communication has been broken down for some time. And so I think after they allow us to move with this, to allow to move to country from country, it's time that Malaysia revive on our approach, revive on our marketing strategies, and revive on our journey towards strengthening our presence in the global market where palm oil is concerned. We want to be a market leader, actually.
Okay, so part of that strategy, before coming to Bangladesh, how many countries you have visited?
Yeah. I have visited UK, I visited UK, UAE, and then Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and then Iran, and then India and Bangladesh. So my next lap will be going to the Central Asia region, where the Afghanistan, the Kazakhstan, and all those areas, and plus Pakistan.
So definitely you are receiving very good response.
Yes, very good response, yeah. Because there are a few things I need to update on palm oil, because we need to tell them how far we have gone in terms of technology, what we can do with the palm oil, and also I wanted to promote the downstream activities in these countries as well, because to get investors, whether it's from Malaysia or from the hosting country, to open up for whichever industry they are, whether it's palm oil, timber, or rubber. Okay. So the money, where the money is actually the downstream activities, where the value products are there. So this is something that is to open up. And I also understand, because after meeting with all the ministers earlier, I understand that Bangladesh now is having this open economy policy with lots of incentives, and it's a good time to capture on these opportunities, given that they have this policy of cashback return for import and export, and they have this Seven Sisters that is opened up to India.
Absolutely.
It's duty free, and China is also duty free, giving duty free, and we have the economic zone that they are.
Special economic zones.
Yeah, about 101 of
100,
them.
yeah.
So we can open up businesses there. And also they have the GSP, which is the EU giving them the special general supply advantage. So I want, this is a good opportunity for Malaysia investors to come in, collaborate with the local industry players, and to enhance it. So the other area that we see that we can work and collaborate with Bangladesh is transfer of technology. So in terms of palm oil downstream, we can transfer our technology and our research. But in terms of rubber, so because you are good in your footwear, and there's some tire industry, and we have some plantation here, rubber plantation in Bangladesh, which
in the hill districts.
In the hill district, and according to the Minister of Finance, just when I met him, it was run in a very small pockets, So therefore, there must be a new approach to it. So therefore, these are the things that they want us to come and share our experience in this industry, so that we can develop and capitalize on the availability of rubber. So it seems now the rubber yield, the type of clone that is in Bangladesh, the rubber yield is low, of low quality. So they would encourage us to bring new clone to plant in Bangladesh, so that you have a higher yield.
Okay. As Bangladesh, one of the major importer of palm oil from Malaysia, is there any request from our government to have some special price or privilege from your end?
Yeah, we have not yet reached that stage, but actually for edible oil, Bangladesh is taking more edible oil from the other countries, from Indonesia as well. But Malaysia is not too high, but it's only at 800,000 value. But we see there was a great jump from December 2021 to January. Between December and January, there is 13 times jump. So when we see that, we see there's a potential for us to develop further. That's why we chose to drop by in Bangladesh. And where the free trade agreement or preferential agreement, we have not gone to that stage, because there is another ministry that's taking care of that.
But that's an interesting thing, a free trade agreement. Is there any potential progress on that?
Because of the lockdown and that kind of thing is sort of stale. So this is my mission here. When I come back, I will have to go back to the Ministry of International Trade and Industries, which is taking care of this, to give the input that I got from this trip to Bangladesh.
But I think Bangladesh has great interest to sign free trade agreement with Malaysia.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So some of the figures, to my knowledge, that we export to Malaysia around $350 million worth of, and we import from Malaysia almost $1,500 million more than. So it's a huge gap. So how this gap can be reduced, and from Bangladesh and some potential areas you have already mentioned that we have economic zones. So do you have any plan, or would you suggest your investors to come forward to Bangladesh and seize the investment opportunities here?
Yeah, so what do we do when we go back? Because we have the industry management team that's with me, so they have to go back to the industry players of Malaysia to tell them of the opportunities that is present available in Bangladesh, and see how we match them, and they can start doing B2B, and the government will facilitate all this.
Part of your roadshow, is that something that you are talking with your counterpart or Bangladesh about reopening your labor market, and what are the potential or opportunities for Bangladesh right now in the plantation industries?
All right. Where the labor market is concerned, is actually the general policy comes from the Minister of Human Resources of Malaysia. Okay. Yes, at this point in time, they've opened up this application of labor force from 14 different countries, and Bangladesh is one of them. Yeah, it's just that for my plantation workers' needs, I have a different kind of needs with regards to these plantation workers, where we are quite dependent on foreign workers for these plantation workers. And in the past, there's quite a number of Bangladeshi workers that works in the plantation. So what our plantation industry in Malaysia is trying to do is to provide a better living condition, a better working facilities, a better working environment, a better wage, so that they appreciate the price of palm oil is very high. Okay. So we give back to the workers, So we're by giving good pay. So in general, they pay for the plantation sector.
I'm just curious. Can you give me a sense about the salary range?
Yeah, the salary range on average is about 2,000 to 2,500 ringgit. So for this typical plantation worker plus their overtime.
It's a pretty good amount.
Pretty good amount. So they work 8 hours. Of course, we have to follow the WTO standards of labor standards because we want to avoid being charged for forced labor and that kind of thing. So we're very careful on that. And that's why, given that situation, we wanted to improve how do we handle them while they work in Malaysia. So like I said, we want to improve the living standards, the comfort of their living units, where we have this dormitory policy, the labor quarters policy. We're going to adhere to that, and they have a good living space. And then we should be giving them some recreational facilities where they can have some kind of activities among them within the plantation complex. And the other thing that I felt, as the Minister of Plantation, this plantation is located in the interior, in the outskirts. And I think it's good that we can give them a lifestyle where once a month the employer take them out and visit some of the interesting places of Malaysia. Yeah, some entertainment. It's good exposure for them. It's good understanding of the country, and it will improve their quality of work. So this is some kind of humanity treatment that we want to give to them. Yeah.
So, I mean, in terms of their wage and other facilities, that's pretty encouraging. But is there any figure you have in your mind for
Yeah,
Bangladesh?
so on average, for our plantation workers, we need a total of about 500,000 from all whichever sourcing countries. Yeah, but for Bangladesh itself, in the past, it used to be about 200,000.
200,000. So right now, when you are reopening up, is there something that figure is close to 30,000 to 40,000?
No, when we reopened, we are the first industry that were given special approval with the 32,000 foreign workers. Yeah.
And this will be done through G2G process, or?
No, this is going to be done the normal process. The normal process, I think, is normal process is G2G, right? Because they applied, the employer applied, and then we got the numbers, we sent to Bangladesh, and Bangladesh will respond with their workers, and the employer pay for whatever they need to be paid, and they come to Malaysia.
This is not in your area, but in terms of recruiting employment in other sectors, what is your impression in which areas Malaysia or Bangladesh can approach the Malaysia to
yeah,
send
I
more
see that
foreign
Bangladesh workers are very much in the
manufacturing, construction.
Manufacturing. So in my rubber glove, it's under my ministry, rubber glove factory, and also they are very much into the cleaning industry, yeah, cleaning and maintenance industry, and they are also very much into the restaurant the food industry. That's what I see there. Yeah.
So you are talking about the pandemic situation and the constraint due to the pandemic situation, because travel and other movement were restricted due to the pandemic. Now the situation more or less eased up, and the global economic activities have started again, and we are talking about intensifying trade and economic ties. So from your point of view in Malaysia, how much your economy have suffered due to the pandemic, and how you are getting over?
I think like any other countries in the world, every country is facing that downturn of the economy, and we are facing a reduce in our income and all those. But Malaysia, for 2021, we have shown an improvement of GDP? Was it the increase in trade? Increase by 3.3 by 1.something%? Okay, so it's not too bad. As for from 3 to 4% of the country. What they call it? The term economic terms. Like,
no problem.
Yeah, that's right. So, but as for the forecast for 2022, looks like the Malaysia will going to perform at 5.something%. GDP. Sorry, yeah, GDP. Yeah, GDP.
So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive. And we are in a very stable recovery plan stage, where we have opened up the economy locally, and we're going to open up to the foreign industries to come in, and we're going to open up tourism as well. So tourism is one of the other industry that is bringing a lot of
it has already opened up, right?
Not yet. Okay. Yeah. Local tourism, yes, but
local,
not yet.
but for
so
the foreign
we expect will be somewhere in mid-March.
Mid-March. Yeah. The places will be open for the foreign visitors. You met with Honorable Prime Minister. Definitely you had a very good discussion about that. can you give some sense
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that?
My reason to see your Prime Minister, Honorable Sheikh Hasina, is because I would want to give her the respect of being a women Prime Minister of Bangladesh, and I'm a women minister, and I think it will not be fulfilled, my trip here will not be complete if I don't have a chance to meet up with her. She's a great leader, and as a woman, I think I look up to her for her ability to lead a country like Bangladesh. And of course, I shared with her my intention of coming to Bangladesh, and she welcomed the idea, and she welcomed the idea, and she encouraged for us to boost our performance with the Bangladesh business sector, and she welcomed the idea very much.
Fantastic. As you are a women leader, great women leader from Malaysia, and you also mentioned about that our Prime Minister also a lady, and you were elected 3 times Parliament members. But there are a lot of challenges for the common women in
In
this
politics
region.
especially.
Yeah, politics especially. So, what is your take on and how you enlighten the other women folks to come forward? And
So
move?
I had a chance to give a speech to the United University of Asia Pacific, because in my trade mission or in my overseas mission, I always make a point to meet up with women groups as to whether it's from the university, the MPs, women MPs, or women organizations, and so on and so forth. So this time I have a chance to speak to the university students of Asia Pacific.
Yeah.
So then I have to stress upon them that it's very important for women to participate in the country nation building. Yeah, it's very important, because then only the country's development will be complete, because the perspective of thinking from women and a man is different. So when a woman comes in together in nation building, the development of the country more complete, and you will progress faster. So because women, these caregiver industries, and those women working at home, which is unpaid job, unpaid job, unaccounted for, if you're given them the opportunity to contribute, it will bring your GDP to as high as up to 30% more, you see. So this is something that is very positive. So then the university students, especially when I told them that you are educated, and in Malaysia, 60% of university students are women. So here in United Asia Pacific Universities was about 33%, but still high considering that it's coming from Bangladesh. So I give encouragement to them, because always think that you are being educated, you're exposed. The perspective of women think isn't from the men, and you need to complete that. You need to complement that. Then your country will grow faster.
Let's talk about some of the international situation. We have been passing through a very tough, very challenging time due to the pandemic time. But we thought that after the pandemic, we will focus on economic development and human progress. But the world and global situation is not like that. It's very volatile right now, especially the Ukraine situation and Russian aggression. What's your take on from this?
Yeah, that's why I was about to say that, after the pandemic, during the pandemic, every one of the countries are facing is economic problem, and we're trying to recover. And there's some of the countries maybe not able to bounce back as fast, But we don't need a war, actually, at this point in time. So I, as a member of the Women Political Leader, I'm an ambassador for the Women Political Leader Summit, representing Malaysia. We together under Women WPL, Women Political Leader, we have a sort of gave a petition together. All the international women political ambassadors of different countries have wrote a statement to Russia to stop the attack on Ukraine and to cease fire, and it's time for us to look into the economic recovery and not to go into war. And the world has enough problems, and we shouldn't be going to more problems. And we are concerned about their lives and their welfare and the situation of the women and the children of the country. When there's war, the most vulnerable victims will be the women and the children. So we are very concerned about that.
So it's a humanitarian disaster.
Yeah, that's right.
The way war broke out.
That's right.
Yeah. Another thing is Malaysia, we consider that one of the very dynamic and very active members in OIC. And we have a problem, Rohingya crisis here. And how you see the problem, how the OIC and other fraternal brother countries like Malaysia can more contribute to get over the crisis?
The pandemic is almost over in the sense that we're going to turn it to endemic. So everyone has to live with it. And therefore, OIC also has to start moving on as life goes on, and we have to move on. So we wish that they would be more active looking into these matters of the Islamic world and Islamic countries, and so that it can put in place and we can recover from the pandemic and from the attack and from the victimization and all these issues as being what happening in these Muslim countries actually.
The last question is, how do you feel about Bangladesh and what memories you are taking back home?
Yeah. Okay. Alhamdulillah. So Bangladesh is quite what shall I say? It's very colorful country in a way that I see the lifestyle of the people that I pass down the roads. You see. So, but however, I see that there is a lot of potential to be developed in Bangladesh, and I see that the government is trying to move to 2041 as developed countries, and I'm sure the lives of the people in Bangladesh, especially I think the lower group or the small entrepreneurs group, I think their life will be made better once the government move on to the next phase of the country development. And I'm sure with this aggressive policy that the country is taking is actually to liven up, to increase, to lift up their standard of living and their standard of living and their remuneration and that kind of.
We shared common vision in many areas, commitment in many areas. How about the commitment about the democracy from Malaysian side?
In terms of what?
In terms of creating a democratic atmosphere, creating a congenial political atmosphere for all the parties.
For all the parties in the...
I mean, the commitment
Malaysia
of Malaysia. Yeah, not for Bangladesh. You are not efficient enough to talk about Bangladesh.
Generally,
yes, generally,
yeah, of course, democracy is practiced. We celebrate democracy because we want everyone has his freedom, as their freedom. But however, there's certain things that we have to curb the freedom when it sort of endanger the country, endanger the religious group, endanger some racial groups. So these are the things that we have to also curb so that it will be a more peaceful and harmony place to stay wherever you are actually.
Thank you so much, Madam Minister, for giving this interview, and it's been a very well conversation. We enjoyed it greatly.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, that's all my conversation with our Honorable Minister, visiting Minister from Malaysia, and she talked about the potential and the prospect of strengthening our bilateral relations in many areas, which will contribute to uplift the people of both the countries. And there are immense opportunities, and we believe that Malaysia and Bangladesh, the way they have been progressing for the betterment of their people, this will grow further. And that's all the conversation. Thank you for watching this Frankly Speaking. We invite you to watch our next episode. Until then, to take care and goodbye.